wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Right, morning everybody, it's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Hey Morgan.
Hey y'all, hey. So yeah, let's get into it. A busy day for the Republican National Convention yesterday. Its first day, Trump won the Republican Party's nomination for president. Republican delegates from all 50 states, territories, and the District of Columbia nominated the former president. And Trump is expected to officially accept that nomination in a speech on Thursday. Now, the former president did pick his VP selection running mate, and he was officially nominated on the convention floor. Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted made the nomination announcement. Let's hear that.
It is therefore my honor to nominate Ohio Senator J.D. Vance for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
Yeah, so Vance was elected to the Senate in 2022, representing Ohio, of course, a key swing state. In the 2024 race, he wrote the best-selling book, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of his experiences growing up in poverty. Now, President Biden reacted to the VP pick, and in a post on X, he said that Vance talks a big game about working people. He went on to claim that Trump and Vance want to raise taxes on middle-class families while pushing more tax cuts for the rich. Now, Trump named Vance as his VP presidential pick. Of course. Now, Ohio Republican delegate, entrepreneur, and 2020 presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy says J.D. Vance would be a great vice presidential pick to Donald Trump if the GOP wins the November ticket. Let's hear more from Vivek Ramaswamy.
He's a guy who actually means what he says, which, as strange as that sounds, is actually rare in American politics. And our families are good friends. Our kids are of similar age. We both hailed from 10-mile radius of each other, even where we grew up, and native Cincinnatians. I mean, I'm a human being. You know? I think anybody who is serious in American politics who would have been asked, would have said yes. I would have said yes if asked too. But I think J.D. is truly an outstanding choice.
Yes, so that was him. The last comment was him asking whether or not he was selected, how he would feel about it. So Vance, actually, it's funny that he says that J.D. Vance means what he says, because Vance has actually been backtracking a lot of comments about what he said about former President Trump. Vance has been very critical of Trump in the past, saying he himself was a never Trumper, once calling the former president America's Hitler, and even going so far as to say, if you vote for him, you're an idiot. I guess he's since changed his tone.
And that's interesting, right? Because, I gave him Donkey of the Day yesterday because he said that a lot of the rhetoric that, Democrats use when they say things like Trump is an existential threat to democracy is what led to him getting shot. But he referred to Trump as Hitler. So,
right. And now he's his running mate. So there's that. So I'm not sure if we can really, he's a legal kind of guy. So I'm not sure if we can, take him for at his word. He's saying one thing, he's doing another. I don't know.
But that is what politicians do, though, right? I mean, when they're campaigning against each other, they say things about each other, they say things to each other, but then, when it's time for them to, come together on one accord, everybody gets on the same page.
The Republican Party is definitely united on that front in that regard, and that's the tone. He's saying, hey, I was wrong about Trump, so.
Yeah,
hey.
but he was never campaigning against Trump, though, right? He just said he was a Hitler-like. He'd be an idiot if you voted for him. Yeah, he just didn't agree with him, which was surprising, and he just took everything back, like.
But I'm just looking at it because, when you think about.
It's okay, Vance. Push for your own political. Yeah. I get it.
And when you think about 2020, you think about how Democrats went hard at Biden. Kamala stumped him on the stage with that bus thing. But now she's the VP, so it happens.
Yeah, you're right about that. So meanwhile, model, rapper, and television personality Amber Rose, she entered the chat.
She started rapping.
Yeah, you said rapper.
I saw that last night on CNN too. They put that on the lower third. I'm like, when did she start rapping?
We know. Yeah, she's nothing that's charted, but
Jesus.
So she entered the chat and spoke at the RNC convention on Monday. Let's hear more from Amber Rose's comments.
When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
So her speech at the RNC comes as Trump continues to court young voters in the race for the White House. Of course, she has more than 27 million followers across Instagram, X, and other social media platforms. So, of course, she is considered highly influential. And other news.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't care who people choose to support politically. That's your choice. All I kept thinking when I saw her speaking was her and Kanye should have stayed together.
Oh, because they
look so cute in their MAGA hats
Their
together.
opinions are the same, yeah. She said she's going to raise her MAGA hat. She also definitely said that her father was the one that persuaded her. She listened to her father. Her father served in the military, and that was the reason why she changed her mind on Donald Trump, she said.
She said she went and did her research after, hearing so much about him. Yes, I like that story about her father being in the military. So salute to him and his service.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, former President Trump's, this also broke yesterday, former President Trump's classified documents case was dismissed. And of course, he's applauding that decision. He was accused by the feds of taking classified documents from the White House after he left office and illegally storing them in Mar-a-Lago. Now, Judge Eileen Cannon ruled the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith violated the Constitution. Trump posted, "As we move forward in uniting our nation after the horrific events on Saturday," referring to his assassination attempt. This dismissal should be followed by the dismissal of all the witch hunts, which he lists. His short list of witch hunts, or list of witch hunts, includes his pending cases, and of course the New York hush money case where he was found guilty. So yeah, a lot of ground covered at the RNC. We'll talk more about Biden's reaction to that, and he also sat down with NBC's Lester Holt, so we'll talk more about that.
And very important to note, that was a judge that he appointed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I hope
that was a Trump-appointed judge.
And I hope y'all are ready for all his cases to be thrown out. And, I asked this question yesterday on social media, and I've been asking it for the past couple of weeks. In light of the Supreme Court's recent rulings, right, because we know the Supreme Court is no longer a legitimate institution, right? They're just a completely corrupt court. We have to ask ourselves, is democracy still healthy enough to have a free and fair election come November? Now, I'm one of those people that don't believe Biden can beat Trump in November. But if he does, and it's close, and Trump challenges the election like we know he will, and it goes to the Supreme Court, who do you think the Supreme Court going to stand with?
Donald J. Trump.
We saw the Time cover.
Yes, the New Yorker cover.
I'm sorry, New Yorker. Yep. Thank you for that correction.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, did.
Well, that is front page news. And I just want to remind you guys, I know nobody talks about it, but it's All-Star game for Major League Baseball. Nobody's even said anything.
Because it was baseball was better when everybody was on steroids. And nobody wants to admit that, but it's the truth. Okay?
I just wanted to tell you.
It just was.
Yesterday was the home run derby. But anyway, all right. Thank you, Morgan. See you next hour.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, yeah. So let's talk about what happened on the other side of the aisle yesterday. There was RNC going down, and President Biden, he sat down with NBC News yesterday speaking to Lester Holt and was pressed about his age, mental fitness, Donald Trump, and how he can turn down the heat in political discourse and rhetoric. Let's hear more from President Biden's interview with NBC's Lester Holt.
Continue to talk about the things that matter to the American public. It matters whether or not you accept the outcome of elections. It matters whether or not you, for example, talk about how you're going to deal with the border instead of talking about people as being vermin. I'm not out there making fun of, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it? Look, I've been doing this a long time. The idea that I'm the old guy, I'm old, but I'm only 3 years older than Trump.
Yeah, Biden reiterated that he is not dropping out of the race, mainly because he won the primary, adding 14 million people already voted for him, and he's going to listen to them. Now, also, that happened during the interview. He was asked about donors, and Biden responded by saying, "We're done," quote, "we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Donald Trump in a bullseye." That didn't go over well. He backtracked those comments, saying he didn't mean to use bullseye when discussing Trump, of course, referencing, or maybe it's just too soon, referencing that assassination.
Man, he don't have to explain that, man. Like, nobody knew that.
He called it a mistake.
Yeah, nobody knew Donald Trump, somebody was going to try to take Donald Trump's life like that. He know what his intention was with that. Like, cut it out. Like, that's the thing.
Well,
Trump don't apologize about nothing. Nothing at all. Republicans don't apologize about nothing. Like Democrats are always moonwalking. That's why they look so cowardice.
And then when he said bullseye, we know he didn't mean to get shot. Like we
but it's been such that in itself, him stumbling over his words has been such a topic that, I mean, maybe he feels like he does need to explain himself. So he went on and said he called it a mistake and added that he doesn't engage in that type of language. He also went on to list times that he thinks Trump did, bringing up the Capitol riot several times. Now, Biden did say that he will not debate Donald Trump again anytime soon. There have been other requests like, will you debate him again? Will you debate him again? So he is scheduled to debate him in September, but he said he is not going to debate him anytime.
Oh, I thought he said he would. I thought he said he would debate him again before the election.
He said he's only going to debate Trump on the next agreed upon date, which is in September.
Oh, got you. And, listen, it's not like everything Biden was saying wasn't making sense, but I've been saying forever, you can't focus on what Trump is not doing right. People that like Trump have their mind made up already. You have to tell the American people what you're doing right. You have to tell the American people what you've done. Just running on this Trump is bad, Trump is bad, Trump is bad, Trump is bad, we good, we good, we good. That ain't gonna cut it. People don't care. People don't care about good and bad, right and wrong. They don't care about that. They care about what have you done. You got to tell the American people what you've done for them.
What have you done for me lately? Yes. Let's switch gears to some news out of California. Schools are now banned from mandating teachers to tell parents about gender or student gender identity changes. So if there is an identity change amongst the students, then, the teachers cannot say anything to the parents. So Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill into law on Monday. It comes as some school boards in California decided to require schools to notify parents when a student changes their name or pronouns, or when they ask to use facilities that don't match their gender on official records. Now, some school districts in the state are facing lawsuits over this policy change. 8 states have already passed gender notification policies since 2020, while California is the first to ban such policies.
That's stupid. That is ridiculous.
That is stupid.
Like, teachers should inform parents about everything.
Yes.
And anything you see in my child that I don't see, anything that I'm missing in my child, you have to let me know.
Let me know. Yeah, you spend the majority of the day with my kids. So if my kid is born a him and now he's a her, I would like to know. Whatever happens in that classroom, whatever goes on about my kid, I want to know.
Protect the child.
Yes, I want to know.
That is my child. Anything that happens with my child, you should let me know. Just same way, if there's things going on with my child, I know that my child is spending the majority of their time with you, the teacher. I have to let you know. I have to let you know about any mental issues, emotional issues, physical issues. Like, absolutely. Like, that
food allergies,
food allergies. Like, that is ridiculous.
As Big Mac just walked in.
Food allergies. Yeah, absolutely. So keeping that in mind, that I'm not sure what happens when minors are under 18. So there's that. And also in another story, a beauty products company is being sued by one of its former store managers in Georgia. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the employee claims she was fired for not hiring someone with the right demographics at a Sephora location in Alpharetta. Sephora officials insist the company is an equal opportunity employer. The woman's lawyer says the demographics at the store in question are 96% Caucasian, but the manager hired employees with varying backgrounds. So basically, they're looking for people with quote unquote or a supposed Caucasian style names. I wonder if Morgan would pass the list.
What's a Caucasian name?
Bill.
Would Leonard be one?
Leonard's definitely one.
I'm asking. My name's not Leonard. It's Leonard. But what's a Caucasian name? And you said Bill, but I can name mad famous black Bills: Cosby, Bellamy. Then there's the white ones like Clinton. So that's what I'm saying. What is a Caucasian name? I'm asking. Like, what is a Caucasian name?
I can't necessarily. Well, we could maybe Karen. Those
Karen's definitely one.
Yeah, but then we
know
a bunch of
different.
This is only a
black
matter
Karens
of what
too.
we believe
Yeah,
as a culture are Caucasian names. I mean, who's to say what a Caucasian name is?
Well, I think that the black man who's that's suing should have applied for a black job.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're still trying to figure out what the black jobs are.
Okay,
there's that.
He should have applied for a black job. All right.
All right, well, that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. You can follow me on social media at Morgan Media, MorgynMedia. And for more news coverage, we've got it here at the Black Information Network at BINnews.com.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.